I want to give you 10 minutes to share with us the app that the youth and the media were privileged to learn about.
Before I start, I'd like to say a very big thank you to the leadership of African for inviting me and giving me this very big platform to share Franny with everybody. Mr. Chair, board members, executive director, the youth, media, national nutrition coordinators, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and honor to present Franny. So our theme this year, I hear, is education. And I want to talk about the Franny opportunity, how Franny can help to educate, especially the youth, with regards to good nutrition. To talk about the role of technology in nutrition, especially for the youth. We know that the youth is really engaged with technology and is really hooked onto social media. The benefit of this for us is it presents the opportunity for scalability of interventions that are delivered electronically. Now, we use these tools to educate about nutrition and healthy living. And the feedback sometimes, or the nudges as they are called, are presented in a way to change the food choices that the users make. This results in increased demand for nutritious foods while reducing or discouraging the consumption of unhealthy food. So the immediate effect that we find would be to change nutrition knowledge to begin with, and then food choice. So how does Franny come into this? Franny, spelled F-R-A-N-I, is an acronym for Food Recognition and Nudging Insights. So what is Franny? It's an artificial intelligence mobile technology-based app which was developed as a collaborative effort between the International Food Policy Research Institute, USA, the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research of the University of Ghana, Plant Village at Penn State University in the USA, and Thai Nguyen National Hospital in Vietnam. So it was a multidisciplinary and national collaborative work. It was funded by Foundation Botna and also CGIAR, Consultative Group on International Agricultural Research. Now, Franny uses an inbuilt camera and is trained to recognize and quantify foods and provide nutrient content on portions that are consumed. So if we go on Play Store, no, that's yesterday's, no. There's a different one for today, sorry. So if we go on Play Store, for example, and download any app that has anything to do with nutrition, what we'll find is that we can't really connect or relate to the foods that come up in these apps. And yes, the third slide. We can't really connect to the foods that come up on these apps because they are not our local foods. And if I heard right, most of the panelists here are calling for exposure, education, letting people know how nutritious our local foods indeed are. So what we did with Franny was to program it with our local foods. In Ghana, we had a survey, we looked at our most frequently consumed foods, and we used these foods, pictures of these foods, to train the app so that if you use an inbuilt camera of Franny to take a picture of, something we eat in Ghana, it can identify it and tell you this is fufu, this is groundnut soup, this is meat, this is chicken, this is fish. And depending on the quantity of food that you eat, it can tell you that these are the nutrients that you got. So for example, we're talking about educating the youth. We're talking about educating ourselves about our local foods. If somebody ate a piece of pizza, for example, and took the Franny app, we've included some of these other things as well. The app would tell the person how much fat, how much calories they have gained from that small piece of pizza. And if the same person probably ate something like yam and cocoyam leaf sauce or soup or something like that, then they would be amazed at how different the two foods are. They would see the quantity of micronutrients that they're getting from the local food. And that in itself is education. So as they use the app, they get to know where the nutrients really are. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So how we use Franny is basically, it's based on local food-based guidelines or any recommendations you have as a nation. So recently, we've developed our Ghana food-based dietary guidelines. So depending on what the dietary guidelines say, we can set goals or create goals to be achieved in the app. So the user signs on to the app and sets some goals according to what is already programmed in the app. So usually that will be a guide. The recommendations become the guide to setting goals in the app. And as the user takes pictures of what they are eating with the app gives feedback in terms of, for example, dietary diversity scores. So if we've had workshops, if we've had trainings, if we've taught people the importance about having a very diverse diet, including our local foods, more than, the foreign, very processed foods, then this feedback also becomes a motivation for them, to continue doing well with their food. So in theory, all you need really is to take a picture of all the food that you're eating with the app. Sometimes, as I said, it's an AI-based app, and the more the pictures that are taken, the better it becomes at identifying the food. So in the beginning, we found that we had to help the app a lot more than right now. So if you take a picture and it's not able to immediately identify, you still have the option to manually guide it, to say that, oh, okay, it's fufu, but it's saying kinky. No, this isn't kinky, this is fufu, and then you change it. But we've realized that with time, it's become very precise.